in the 9,000-pound modified class. After he makes his run, if the officials are satisfied with the setting on the sled, he'll then have the option of either taking that pull or coming back and hooking again. The track is ready. The officials are ready. Here he goes. Mike Howard. What a run for Mike Howard as he really starts it off and pulls it right out the Red Man Gate to start off the Indy Super Bowl number 12. Weight setting, chain is tight. He starts to hook it up again. Green flags come out. The Mountain Dew Pulling team, Mike Harvard out. There he goes. Oh, Ed, that looks impressive. He was really digging and straining to get up there past that 200-foot mark. And Ed, I'm not sure. We saw a lot of oil dripping off of between the front and the second engine. Let's hope we didn't have any really serious problems. We got to remember a lot of heat buildup. These engines are made to run about 15 to 20 seconds in a hard pull competition. And he was definitely milking every ounce of horsepower out of him. He had it locked in. Let's give him a good hand to hook the horsepower to the ground. You can see each engine setting a little bit higher the further back they go. He has each one in the separate setup. Here he goes. Oh, Ed, there you can see it. We talked about that Super Pole track eating them up. He came out a little bit on the right side and started going over towards the left side of the track. He was really hitting the brakes. You could actually see that he lost traction. He lost traction on one of those wheels for just a moment. But I'm sure Dennis is not satisfied with that run. I'm sure he would like to go back and do it again if he had the chance. Tough break for him for a good competitor. Let's give him a good hand. Dennis Christensen. Might be here because he's sort of getting to the point he's saying, well, I'm just going to go run and have a good time. Carl Stiller. No doubt about it, Ed. Good run for Carl Snell. I don't believe he went up there far enough to pass the checkered flag, but he has to be well satisfied with that run. And we're going to see Carl back here a couple more times this weekend. He'll be pulling not only here in the 9,000-pound modified class, but he'll be back in the 5,000 and 7,000-pound classes. Let's give him a good hand. Carl Sneller as he leads the arena. Carl Sneller from Holyoke, Colorado. And giving engine Johnny Gray. There he goes.
Johnny Graves. Well, you saw he had to hit that left brake. He jumped on her a good one, Les. We're talking about the Allison aircraft. That's the first we've seen tonight. We'll see a number of Allison aircraft engines. And you think about it, Les, for the 12 Indy Supers, that's an engine that certainly has been popular. And we'll see several 222 feet, 8 engine. Ladies and gentlemen, driving for Johnny Shaw, a real pro in the seat.
Yes, no doubt about it. He really locked it in. You can see as he came out of the hole in that 50 to 7,500 foot mark, he started hopping and jumping, and just a little, that front end came to the air. But as that front end settled down, it really locked those big 30.5 times 32 tires into the track, and he just hooked her up and made a nice smooth run right down the center and out the end. Here he goes. He needs a full pull advantage competition. Makes a good run. As you can see those tires, he really has them sharp to pick up that track, throwing the clods of dirt up over the top. Let's make 30.5 times 32 tires. You can see the pullers actually cut them down. They'll sharpen them off. They're going to try and get a nice sharp edge on those tires. Because the sharper that edge, the tighter that tire will. Missed the ear in there.
That's it for Johnny Howard, modified driver of the year. I'll tell you, old Red just took a big chew of Red Man tobacco. I mean, he is right there. I'm sure glad, Johnny, you got her shut down. But
in the competition.
Pretty good run, I'll tell you, Les.
He's right up at, I think he's short of that full mark. But Ed, did you see the way he was getting a hold of the track? He was throwing clods of dirt clear back here to the 100-foot mark when he was spinning out up there at the end.
I think Les may have set the tires as well as anybody in this class so far. Really locked the tires in. Good run for Neil Freed.
The main out there, one of the NTPA officials still indicating that they must be having a problem. That one engine is still not running. Let's try to crank it up and get it going. And it looks like he has them all going. He's been through quite a bit. He's really been struggling to get this thing on the track. Oh, and it was worth it, no doubt about it. Kenny Owens gets the big 4-engine Rodex machine out the end. What a run, front end way high in the air.
Boy, Les, you talk about cranking out the horsepower and spinning the tires and throwing the dirt. What a run.
He stayed right with it as he started going towards the wall, but the Lucky Eliminator really putting the pressure on him as he got down there to the end. Just barely gets it out there to that full line.
1,800 cubic inch Allison aircraft engine from Ansonia, Ohio. And then the Banter brothers with Banter Blue in the home.
Glenn Allison was one of the first ones. In fact, we saw Ralph Schindler's machine out here earlier with Neil Freed doing the driving. Ron Barger was very instrumental in getting that machine set up after he first built his 2-engine Allison. We've seen the Judge Allison-powered machine in the winner's circle here before at the Indy Super Bowl. He's also been a past Grand National Points champion. One of the guys that's been around pulling competition for a long time. Notice he's coming up the right side of the track. He's over on the right side. Let me cross it over. Here he goes. I'm not sure, Ed. He was dragging something as something was dragging down as he went up the side of the track. It may be an engine side shield the way it looked.
That's what it looked like, a side shield, and you can see it last almost here at the 150-foot mark. And of all the runs that I've seen at 11 Indy Supers, I don't think anybody plowed that much dirt at one time.
And it's almost ready to plant corn now.
I mean, he's got it ready. Holy smoke. Let's have a nice round of applause. Former national champ, Ron Barger, and Sonia, Ohio.
Big Ben Blue. These are the guys that have really set the record, and they hold more Grand National Points championships than anyone. they're tied for the Super 4 wins. They've had 5 Super 4 wins in the 11 years that the Super 4 has been running. This will make number 12.
Oh, just what you expected.
He makes it number 5. The Banner Brothers Big Ben Blue makes it number 5. Here's the 9,000-pound, 90 cubic inches of Packard engine. Hold your air. Here he goes.
Well, for you World War II veterans who are here, and we mentioned Packard engines, you'll bring back some memories. Yes, sir. Good run for Ralph Bruns. Let's give him a nice round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Ralph, we thank you. And congratulations for making it to Indy Super number 12.
Involved in building engines, building competitive engines for other pullers.
And also in the 5 modified, the defending national champ in the 5.
Ending up just a little short. It looks like he may be a little short of that full pull mark down there near the Redmond and Kendall full pull markers. He's just a little short of that full pull category. He'll be back later this week. Let's give him a good hand. Ronnie Reed for a good run. The 2 back engines are facing backwards. In other words, the clutches are back to back on these machines to help torque it out. John Shaw, full-time tractor puller, get out of the farming business. He sold everything out to his brothers, and he went full-time
me, oh my. What have we got, Margie? 7. Now we've got 7. I believe in the pull-off competition. Let's hear it for Johnny Shaw. 6 of the pull-off.
6 tough ones, and as we look down the list yet, national staying with the Chevy cast iron truck blocks. 2 of them in each side, hook crank to crank. The 5th one setting up back towards the driver. It's facing back. There he goes. He lets it go. Ed, that is very close, as you can see. He was right down alongside the right sideline, had to back out of it, got back into it, and did he or did he not make it out? The end, it's going to be awful close. We're waiting for the laser to read it out, and as we look at the TV screen, it looks like it could go either way.
I think maybe, Les, that he might have had as much speed as anybody yet in this class. My, I was impressed. Tremendous amount of speed, and built that up in like 200 feet.
Let's see, there it is. Full pull for the Banner Brothers. Full pull for the Banner Brothers, and he squeaked it out. And Ed, I was thinking, here he goes, Rick Gialetti out of Turlock, California. Tough break for him.
And he calls her the Godfather, Rick Gialetti.
Well, Ed, there's the reason right there on the track. He lost a blower belt. He lost the blower belt on the track. When you lose that supercharger blower belt, that means you lose one engine because that engine's not getting the air pushed into it. Now on any engine, even your Alice Chalmers, each engine having a separate clutch, separate drive shaft, going back to that transfer case that locks all of them together. Green flag comes out. He needs a full pull to stay in the competition. Here he goes. You can actually see those tires stop turning. He really locked it into the track, and then they did break loose as he spun out down there past the 200-foot mark. And it's interesting to note all but four of the competitors have passed the 200-foot mark. There was only four that did not pass the 200-foot mark, and those four had mechanical problems. For H,
all right.
Competitor.
The road's producer, Barney Clout.
Channel 12, if you want to get the action, it's on Channel 12.
Tune in Channel 12. We got it.
Here he goes, Barney Clout. Sure is. Something's definitely wrong here. I don't know if his drawbar may have broke and dropped down, if he may have been hooked, exactly what happened, awful heavy in the front end, but Barney just never got hooked into it. Unusual for him.
Yeah, like you say, Les, that's just not natural. And
they had a lot of weight hanging on the front end. Maybe he just misjudged his weight on that a little bit. You can see he never, in fact, those action brothers will run down the rest of them. Oh, wow, what a run for Norm Smith. And that is going to be a hard one to beat. You can see that weight box all the way up on the pan. Definitely going to be a tough hole to compete against. Well, we were talking about, we've already asked about John Shaw, the Banner Brothers, and Ron Bargia. It's the 7,000-pound modified class. And he finished number 3 in the nation this year with this tractor. He puts the shield down on his helmet. John Howman out of Rockford, Ohio. The big 500 cubic inch Chevy and Rodex. He's mixing it up between the Chevy blocks and the Rodex blocks. Here he goes. Starts the first. Good run for John Howman as he sets it down there right about the 200-foot mark. Now, first time around, Norm Smith getting out there 2:21 and 6, 2:21 and 6. But again, we see, like Norm Smith, John Howman had the front end in the air also. He had it up in the air going down. About the 150-foot mark, John started to work towards the right side of the track. He had to hit the brake, try and get it back towards the center, but a great job of driving for John Howman as he...
Let's see if he can do it. Alcohol Express.
That tire on this side, you can actually see the wrinkle in the tire as he holds the tire on that run. Front end again high in the air. I'm sure he wishes that front end might have been just a little lower as he made his run down the track. Good run for Kenny Owens. Still has the G&H machine driven by Norm Smith, still out there in that number 1 position.
Yeah, he did all that plowing.
Now he's looking at the left side of the track, though. He looks like he's going to shoot towards the left side of the track.
Keep it over there, Ronnie. We don't have any more room for any more dirt.
He's running 100% alcohol. You can see these big cubic inch engines, fuel injected on alcohol. You can see a little bit of excess alcohol burning off of those pipes.
All right.
He starts to bring up the RPM. He has to pass that 221-foot distance to be one of the number one.
Oh, my.
And again, Ed, similar to when Barney Klaus made his run, just not getting locked into the track, just not picking that front end up and transferring that weight. And that sometimes happens. That's tough. If they can't get it locked in about that, you'd say what, the first 50 feet, they just never seem to get it locked in.
And this right engine, this right engine was rocking some. You didn't see that smoothness that you normally see, and maybe just because the thing's lugging so tough. Nice round of applause, would you, ladies and gentlemen, by former national champ, Ron Barger.
Modified class. You can see Ralph down here to the side. Ralph Banner. Oh, there again, it never really get locked in. Never got locked in to pick that front end up, but yet just kept right on going. And, you know, that has to be quite an accomplishment for never lifting that front end and getting it running, that he got that far out. I'm sure they were surprised that he got that far after seeing how they were really not locking into the track.
I am surprised. Interesting, if you notice. Oh, my.
I remember 207 feet. 207 was the number 2 position of the Banner brothers. 198 was the number 3 of John Howman. Now, it looks like right about that 200-foot mark. I don't think they moved up into number 2, but they may have taken over the number 3 position. And I was watching Margie here, and when the front end picked up, Margie jumped up because she knew that if he could get it in the air and get it going, he would have a good shot at it. No doubt about it. Great run for Dave Banner, and unofficially we'd have to say he is out past the flag, but we're going to have to wait for the laser to measure it. Remember, 221 and 6. 221 and 6 is where John Shaw and Norm Smith had parked the triple Aries powered machine. There it is, full pull for the Banner brothers. Big Ben Orange, number 1. The Banner brothers.
And again, lads, hats off to all the competitors in the 9,000 modified Dallas Watt. Also, our thanks to Indiana Farmers Insurance Group and Big Ben by Wrangler, the people who have the finest work clothes available today.
And we found out that Glenn, they did not change the sled. They did not change the sled. Sled is the same. Glenn thinks he can do just a little bit better. Now, I remember down there the first time it's 232. He thinks he can move a little bit further down the track. Now, I'm not sure, Ed, from where I would observe it, I think he may be just a little short of his first run.
And you've not seen that happen so many times where a guy is the first driver, the test driver, He said, I'm going to take a second crack at it, and he won't go as far as he did the first time. Not from
Wasion, Ohio. Oh, Chevy Power. He has to be well satisfied with that run, Ed. He's right down in there.
You bet. Well, I think...
You can see the sled. Look, those back wheels of the sled are actually off the ground, so that means all the weight sliding out there on the pan of that sled.
Well, Dave says he's short. I looked from this angle. Dave looked like he went and bumped that.
The sled, and they start to pull the sled down the track. They'll get all the traction they need on that rear axle. They're trying to build all the weight to the front to get that front axle to bite into the track.
All right, Jeff, right so. Let's see what he can do. 2:20, 9 and 9 he has to beat.
Good run, right up in there. Not enough to move up the #1 spot, but he has to be well satisfied with the run.
Whale of a run. Steady, like that. Sounded good. Listen to this. Listen to this. This will sound good. This will sound good if you're a Bobby Knight fan. IU 77. Northwestern 50. Well, those Hoosiers are tough.
Don't forget to pick up your copy of the Fuller magazine. Ford fans, can he do it?
One of us, two. Okay.
They say yes.
Yes, I think we'll get it done.
You're sure?
Well,
You're sure he can get it done? Would you like to put some money on it? Okay. The Georgia Rebel, Tony Osteen. Ford fans, take a deep breath. Repeat to yourself, F-O-R-D. Here he goes, 229.
Fans, I love it. Hey, you talk about a good running truck, Mr. Houck. There it is.
I'm not sure. He may have. What do you say, Dave?
Is he out, David?
Out at the end. We're going to have to wait for the laser. It is. Pull for the Ford. Woo!
I love it. I love it.
They didn't want to put any money on it, but now that he's going out at the end, they say yes.
He said, I'd have put $20 on that. You'd have taken the bet. Yes, sir. Well,
Bob Smith has served on the NTPA Pool Board of Directors. He's a member of the Pool Promoters Executive Board Group. He's done a little bit of everything. Chevy fans, get ready. How many think he can do it? Cheer him on. Here he goes. Bob Smith.
That'll be it for the Three Bears team. Good run, but not good enough. Bob Smith, Winchester, Virginia, on deck. Well, we can talk a lot about this guy, the doe running team. Roy Everett.
Last year. Right now, he needs a full state of competition. Chevy fans, can he do it? Cheer him on. Let him hear him. You want him to go off the gate and get in to pull off with the Ford machine. Right now, the Ford is sitting out there all alone.
Not quite enough. So, Tony Osteen breathes a little bit easier. I just thought maybe the doe runner could get it done. Plus, I really did. Chris Holdar, hang on. Enjoy watching him run. He knows he's got to make a full pull. He's going to do anything all night.
This is the guy with the oranges. Remember, there's always a guy in the pit area handing out oranges.
This is the guy.
This is the guy with the oranges, out of Florida. He travels all over the country. Win, lose, or draw, always has a smile on his face. Very interesting, friendly guy to be around. Here we go, Ford fans, cheer him on. Chris Ford.
Oh, yes. One good, steady run. But came up short. Well, the trucks are running well tonight, Les. I'll say that. Dave Allen, please report to the pit area. Dave Allen, please report to the pit area. Dave Allen to the pit area at once, please.
Again, we'd like to mention for the Banner Brothers and the J&H team, we will be... Anybody here from Germany tonight? No, we do have some guys here from Germany, I understand.
And
Is that the group over there? The German tractor pullers? Over there.
Welcome.
There they are, we welcome.
Welcome. All right.
Green flag is out. Chevy fans, can he do it? Cheer him on, let him hear it. Ford is number one right now.
Well, right down the middle of the track, that makes us down to one. I think the track might be getting more difficult.
One Chevy yet to go, and Ford is still number one.
One to go.
Now we'll find out right now where our die-hard Chevy fans are. How many of you? Right now, stand up if you say, yes, Chevy Tough can still do it.
Tomorrow night. Oh, you'll love tomorrow night. 1,750-pound minis. All begins at 7 o'clock tomorrow night. The Invitational Semi-Truck Class. Semi-trucks tomorrow night. Well, son of a gun.
And out of bounds. That makes Ford the winner of the four-wheel drive truck class.
All right. Write it down. Tony Osteen, your only fellow to make a full run, has won the 6,200-pound four-wheel drive pickup competition.
And Ed, you know, I think that's the first time that Ford has won here at the Super Bowl in the truck class. That may be a first.
I think you're right.
But
Right
not
now.
But the Ford fans say not the last.
First place. Watch him run. Now you get a real treat out of this.
Oh, what a run. No doubt about it.
Hey. The Flying M machines have set the stage. A full pull for Stan Mello and the Superfly.
He needs a full pull to stand the competition. The Superfly machines of Johnny and Stan Mello. The first one has made a full pull. There he goes. Brad Shiley, Millmont, Pennsylvania. The supercharged Chevy-powered machine. Starts to bring up the hours. There he goes. Awful close to the 300-foot mark. We're going to have to wait and see. Did he or did he not make it out the end? Awful close to the full pull mark. Going to have to wait for the laser to do it.
Chambers.
In the 6,200-pound mini class, or not 6,200-pound, the 1,750 mini pound class. Also number 2 in the overall point standing in the mini crafter. Red Fox, he needs a full bull to stay in the competition. Green flag comes out. Ron Rickman hands out the green flag at the starting line. Here he goes. Yes, as he yanks it out the end, and we're going to have a pull-off.
My, did he ever? I mean, right out the end, lads. Super run for Dennis Horst, Chambersburg, Pennsylvania. And the second entry of the Mallows from out of California.
Dick Reshog, he slides it out the end. He makes it number 3. Number 3. Boy, the full bulls. Great run.
Really was. He had the momentum going. He got it locked in good lesson. Boy, right out the end.
That was a good run.
Now, if you'll get ready, we've got a couple of fellows here from a show called the 500 Annual International World on Wheels. They're going to try to make it 2, and I think they've got a good shot at doing that. The green flag is up.
Get the feeling that he doesn't like us over here.
Oh, smoke. You girls all right? We told you that we got in the head, didn't we, Buzzy?
Never hurt you. As long as you get hit in the head, it'll never hurt you.
That's what my mother-in-law says every time. We said last that they spin the tires faster than anybody in that, and we're proving that, just proved that. And so there you go. Mellows, I'm not a bit surprised. All right, for the show on wheels. There you go. Oh, the ticket didn't go along. Whoever gets it, have.
I'm going to stand right here and let him come right at me.
You do it on television.
Terrific.
All right.
Great video here. I mean, this is, if you'd like to get your copy of tonight's session, here he goes.
You set the stage. All right, former tractor driver. I've wondered many times how you can build a frame, and these guys all do it, just about all of them do it, in the minis. I mean, they'll ride on 2 tires much of the time and have that frame twisted, the motor's twisting, and yet they hold together. We're talking flex steel.
How do you build it? Very carefully.
I thought he'd go to twist it right too.
When you're, and while you're out there in the middle of the field burning that fuel at night or trucking down the road or just relaxing as you drive around in your car, try Redman. Redman reaction is
good
satisfaction. And get your free sample of Redman as you leave. Most center exits underneath the Coliseum, you get your free sample of Redman. Also in the pit area, you can get your free sample of Redman chewing tobacco. Here he goes. Dennis Horst.
Oh, I like that.
Good run.
Oh,
excellent run. And I'm wondering now, and as we see Dennis make his run, and that's not going to be hard to beat because we can see it about the 100-foot mark. He started to lift it and carried it down there, and that picked the pan up. Also, did you notice when he came out of the hole, he was pedaling it. It wasn't locked in. He was backing out, starting to get into it again.
The thing I liked, Les, very patient. He was very patient. If you could watch him operate, he was letting the tires set themselves. Wasn't jumping on it, didn't panic. Right here in front of us, he was waiting for it to lock and then moved it on down. Whale of a run.
That makes Dennis Horst the winner of the 1,550-pound mini class. And Ed, you may have noticed about the 150-foot mark or a little before, the big Hemi started laying down. One of the spark plug wires come off. You can see one of the spark plug wires coming off. So we need Dennis Horst, Dick Reshoggy, and Johnny Mello to trackside for our trophy awards. Dennis Horst the winner, and unofficially it would appear that Johnny Mello would be number 2 and Dick Reshoggy number 3. Don't forget, on your way out, get your sample of Red Man chewing tobacco. The Red Man reaction is satisfaction, also handing Red Man out in the pit area.